Hello everybody, welcome in, welcome to my Jewelry Box Creations. Today I wanted to work on this square stitch and peyote ring set. As you can see, I made one for myself here, and here's another set that I made. So we're going to continue working on square stitch today, and added in a little peyote for the bands. So let's go ahead and get our material list going. All we need is a center bead. I've used an 8/0 in this one, and this one is 6/0. And today I'm using or not 8/0, 8mm. And today I'm using a size 8mm candy bead. I've got to start over because the video didn't record, but it's got 2 holes. You don't have to have 2 holes. You can have 1 hole or 2, it doesn't matter. So you're going to need, I'm using 8-pound fire line in smoke, and I've got a size 10 beading needle. So get your materials together and we'll get started. Alright, let's pick up our stop bead and bring it down. Leave yourself, I don't know, 6-8 inches to sew in, and come up through the bottom of that bead. And there you go. Leave enough tail to sew in when you're finished, and go ahead and pick up your bead. Pick up 6, depending on what size bead you're using and all that. You'll have to figure out how many beads it takes to go from the top to the bottom of the bead through the holes. Through this 8mm candy bead, it takes 6. So pick up your 6 beads and go up through the bottom, coming from closest to the stop bead, and pull. One of my beads, I should have paid closer attention. One of my beads are a little bigger than the others. I'm going to have to take that off, so I'm going to go back through. It wasn't even the right bead. I don't know how they got mixed in. Alright. Let's try that again. Okay, and pick up 6 more. Oops, you know what I forgot? I need to, since it is a 2-hole bead, I need to go down through that next bead, next hole. And then pick up the 6. And go up the bottom of the bead. Get back, baby. And then you want to come down through those 6 beads. And then pick up 4 more, or however many it takes you to get from this set of beads over to this set of beads. And then go through those beads, the next set of 6. And you might have to move your stop bead and then pick up 4 more beads and go through the next set of 6. And then go around reinforcing all the beads. This will straighten them and pull them tighter up against your bead. Okay, we went around and reinforced. Now we're going to pick up 3 of the next color. I'm using the mauve, and I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs. If I can get them on my needle, and then I'm going to bring them down. And then I'm going to, my thread's coming out here. I'm going to count up 3 seed beads, and then I'm going to go back. There's 3 seed beads. Pull, and then I'm going to come through the 3 that I just put on. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up 3 more. And bring those down. The reason I bring them down, sometimes your beads aren't the same size. So you'll have to decide, what to do in that instance. Okay, and then we're going to go back 4 because we want to, tie these together. So, we went through the 3, but we went back 1 extra. And then we want to see where our thread's coming out. Wherever it's crossing over is where you want to come back through that next row of beads. If you hear anything in the background, that's my kitty cat playing around. She is in a playful mood right now. It seems like every time she hears me talking to the camera, she gets fired up. Alright, pick up 3 more seed beads. Bring those down. Okay, and wherever they end is where you come through, come back, not just the 3, but 1 extra, 4. And then you'll see right where your thread's naturally wanting to go is where I go back and come through that next row of beads to get ready to put on my next 3 beads. And make sure they're pulled down tight. Continue to do that all the way around and come back and we'll do the next step. Okay, I'm coming around to end and there's just a small space there. So I'm going to pick up 2 and see where those end up when I bring them down. So I can get my tail thread out of the way. Yeah, that's about right. And so I'm going to come through 3 beads. And then we'll come back through all the beads. And then I'm going to go around reinforcing and sewing all these beads together on the second row. So go around, clear around, sew all the second row together, reinforcing, and come back and we'll do the next row. Okay, we're gonna just do the same, pick up. Now this might be a little bit different since I'm using Mayuki, and Mayuki's a little smaller than Toho. So we'll bring them down. We'll measure to see where our last bead ends. Yeah, I think I need 1 more. I got a stuffy kitty in the background. You can hear her breathing. Let's see. And we'll go back stitch through 3 beads. I can get through them. Okay, and then come through the 4 beads. And then just do this row like we've done the others. And when we get done with that, come back and we'll do the next step. Okay, the next step is you put the next color on. I'm going to use the light bronze again, but if you don't want it any bigger, you know, you can do as many rows around the bead that you want. So if you want another row, you know, kind of complete this look or this look with the silver, with it being the edge and then the edge of the peyote, go ahead and do 1 more row. I do the metallic, the light bronze. All right, so we've got the face of our ring made, and now we're going to put the band on. So we're going to be working out of, we're going to be doing peyote, and we're going to be working out of 6 beads. So it's round, so really, you know, choose anywhere on your ring. And we're going to do the first row in nothing but bronze. So pick up a bead, you're coming out of one bead, skip a bead, and go down through the next bead. They're pretty tight at this point, so it might take a minute. Okay. I had to add more thread, and that's very simple in a square stitch, you know, and it's very strong. So pick up a bead, skip a bead, and go through the next bead. Okay, one more. Pick up a bead. You're coming out of this bead, skip a bead, and go through the next bead. Oops. Okay. Now, on the ends here, we're going to pick up one bead, and we're going to come directly up through that first up bead. You got to, and we're on these ends, we have to use the, well, I'm using the, to get that, you know, line of bronze on each side. We got to use a bronze on the ends. And then, depending, I just did this one random, but if you want, well, we'll just continue. And pick up a bead. I'm picking up mauve, and I'm going through the next bead. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up seafoam and go through, up through the last up bead. And then I'm going to pick up my bronze on the ends here and come directly back down through that last bead we put on, the seafoam. Brother, got caught. Shoot, I'll be back. Alright, now I'll pick up the green bead and go through the next bead, up bead, which is the mauve bead. And then I'll pick up a mauve bead and go through the last up bead, which is the bronze bead. Then I'll pick up the bronze and go up through that mauve bead. And then I'll pick up a seafoam and go through the seafoam. And I'll pick up the mauve and go through the bronze. And I'll pick up a bronze and come down through that mauve. Let's see, we'll pick up I've kind of got a pattern going of diagonal stripes, so you can look and see what color you're going to need. We're going to continue the mauve stripe, so we're going to come down through the seafoam. You can just do this random too. Or you can, if you want stripes and you don't want to, if you're not quite ready for the diagonal stripes, one time you put on the seafoam, the whole row beside your two end beads. So it'll be seafoam, seafoam. Then you come back up, it'll be mauve, mauve. And then, of course, the bronze on each end. All right, we're going to pick up a seafoam. And go down that last bronze bead. And we're going to pick up a bronze and come back up through that seafoam. And this is the edge. Remember the edge, when we have to turn, always use a bronze. And we're going to pick up a mauve. Come up through that mauve. And we're starting a new row, so we need seafoam to go up through. Or you can just make the band one color if it's, if this is too difficult, if you're just starting out. And then pick up a bronze and come back down through. Pick up a seafoam and come down through the mauve. And pick up a mauve and come down through the last bronze bead. And just continue until your band, you'll have to use your, you have to use, oh, it slipped my mind, make your ring mandrel, or just wrap it around your finger. And, make it to whatever length. And your last row, you're going to do all bronze, so it'll match when we hook it over here. Just make sure your last row to do all bronze, then we'll come back and we'll zip it up and close it up. All right. All right. So we're going to sew our ring together, and we're coming out of the top of on the band. We did our last row in just bronze, and we're coming up of the top bead. Measure and see the 6 beads that you're going to use. Kind of, this is how I do it. I just go here, here, and then 3 on each side. And then I've come down through that top bead. Okay. Now, we'll jump over into this first up bead. And then we'll skip a bead. We came out the top bead. We'll skip a bead and come down through the next bead. And then we go down through the next up bead. And then we will, we came out of this bead last, so we'll skip a bead and come down through this bead. Then we'll come down through the very last bronze bead, that last up bead. And then we'll hop over and go back through and reinforce. And then I will come back down one more time. At that point, it really doesn't matter which exact bead you go through. This smoke fire lines really makes my fingers black. And then we'll just go through, down through the band and tie some half-inch knots. Let's see. And then needle through the loop and pull down. And then we're have to come down through. This next bead and then go up through the one beside it and then tie another half-inch knot and do the same thing and finish tying off. And then sew your, well, this don't need to be sewed in, this is the thread I added, but you'll have a tail thread you'll need to sew in. And there is our ring. And next come back and we'll do the second ring, the peyote one. I'll show you how to start it and how to finish it.